But if you need YOLOing in your life, you need that gambling, just that excitement, then I would go Welcome back to Broke Man Finance. My name is Adam. Some of you out there right now may have a few extra bucks to spare and you want to finally expose that portfolio to some crypto. But you don't know what to invest in and you don't know how to split it up. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 different strategies for investing for the first time in that crypto. 5 different strategies that you can use ranging from conservative to a more YOLO-ish play. And my YOLO may be completely different than yours. My YOLO may be a normal Tuesday morning for you. We're all different. But 5 strategies, nonetheless, that you can do whenever you're putting your first 1,000 into it. But in reality, you can use this strategy regardless if it's $100 to $10,000, whatever the amount. The first thing you need to know or ask yourself is, what is my risk tolerance? Am I more of a conservative, or am I going to just YOLO some money and just say whatever happens, happens? For the majority of us, and myself included, I think going the more conservative route is absolutely the safest play. And personally, I just wanted to dip my toes in it before I got into anything really speculative. I knew enough about it to where I knew where I wanted to put my money into, but I didn't feel comfortable or educated enough to get into anything that would be considered speculative. Also, I will leave some links in the description below if you want to use them to sign up to finally dip those toes in the water. You can receive some free crypto by using those links. It took me a minute to wrap my head around ledgers, what keys were, different wallets, and transferring crypto always freaked me out, and it still makes me a little nervous sometimes that I'm gonna send my crypto to the wrong wallet, because then you are screwed. But let's say you have $1,000 to spend. The conservative play that I would do, and this is actually what I did, is I went 75% Bitcoin and 25% Ethereum. I put $750 into Bitcoin and $250 into Ethereum. If you're going conservative, I would put the majority of those funds into Bitcoin. It just has the biggest store of value. It is definitely the king ding-a-ling when it comes to crypto. I bought it on Coinbase, but I would definitely go that route. And I went $250 into Ethereum because I liked at the time. I may even go the number 2 route now, but I really liked where Ethereum was at as far as being more technologically advanced than some of the other cryptos, and everything that you could build out on that platform. I really saw a lot of potential with Ethereum. Still do. They are definitely in that second place, in my opinion, overall in the crypto world, but they just have different roles, in my opinion. But I would split it up like that on the most conservative play. After opening that Coinbase account and buying the Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's just who I'm recommending, I would then open a BlockFi account. Again, the links are going to be in the description, and I would send my Bitcoin and Ethereum from Coinbase to BlockFi, and you could buy those through BlockFi, but because of the premiums, I think it's a better deal to buy it on Coinbase and send it to BlockFi, because that Bitcoin and Ethereum can start earning you a pretty decent interest rate. Right now, BlockFi is offering an interest rate at 5% for Bitcoin and 4.5% for Ethereum. That's a good savings rate for doing absolutely nothing. Now, the next step up wouldn't be that much different. All it would be 50-50. 50% Bitcoin and 50% Ethereum. And again, I'm not buying it on BlockFi. I'm buying it on Coinbase, and I'm sending it to BlockFi to take advantage of those rates. Also, some people may say not to store all that crypto, all that Bitcoin and Ethereum in BlockFi in case something were to happen. We should take some of that and put it into a cold wallet, just take it offline completely. And for the most part, I would agree with that, depending on the size of that investment. If it's $1,000 though, if all I have is $1,000, I'm going to risk it. I personally want to take that risk because I want to earn as much as possible. I'm trying to maximize the profitability of my investment. If I had a large investment, then yes, I would take some out because I could afford to minimize the risk. But with only $1,000, I'm trying to make as much as I can. But I'm no financial advisor, but I do know I'm trying to maximize profitability at all times with small investments. Next on the list. Now, let's say you have a better understanding than probably just the very novice crypto person, just the novice investor period. And you want to just be a hair riskier than just Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you want something else in that portfolio. I would go 40% Bitcoin, 40% Ethereum, and then I personally like Cardano a lot, so I would go 20% Cardano. Cardano is something that I believe has a lot of potential. I've made videos on it in the past. They're making so many improvements with it. It's so efficient. It's the clean energy that's associated with it. And I've mentioned I've got some videos on it already, so feel free to go check those out as far as what Cardano is, what they're doing, and the fact that you could stake it. So same thing with my Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to go to BlockFi and it's going to earn me that interest rate. I'm going to take my Cardano and that ADA, and I would use the YOLO wallet. It's super easy to use, and I have a video on that process as well. And you're going to see it's super easy to do if you actually do it. Do not let it intimidate you. It's not that bad. The thing is, if you're holding an investment, why not make money off of it? You're holding it anyway, you might as well make free money. And staking Cardano, I mean, it's giving people an average of 4 to 5% returns for doing absolutely nothing. Let's say you want to be a little more risky frisky and you have a decent level knowledge base of crypto. You've been watching all kinds of YouTube videos. Then I would go this route. And of course, people are going to disagree with this, and opinions are like b-holes. We all got one. It's all good. But I would go 40% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, 20% Cardano, and I would go 10% Doge. Or you could keep it even at 25% each, but the 40, 30, 20, 10 is how I would break it down if it were me and I was looking at these 4 cryptos. Now, I may up that position in Doge if I were scalping profits and had some house money to play with. Maybe I had a few extra bucks saved up for fun. I threw it in Doge because maybe I felt like that hype that was getting baked into that price and I felt like a run up was imminent. Then I would up that position into Doge. But Bitcoin and Ethereum's always probably going to be my staples. They're always going to be my anchors. That's why I'm at 40 and 30% on those instead of going heavier on the other side. But it's up to you. If you want to go 25% or just 100% in any of them, that is completely your prerogative. And a lot of people may or may not agree with the Doge pick, but if we keep on giving it utility and we keep on giving it hype, we're going to keep increasing that value. And we can't ignore that. Plus, if you're new to this space, you may have become interested in it through the Doge hype because it's just so recognizable now. Are there others that I like more for the long term? Yes, Binance being one. But part of getting riskier is the fun that comes along with it, and Doge is fun. Plus, there are a lot of opportunities to scalp profits off of Doge when that hype gets baked in because it's so volatile. Lastly, and this is by far the most risky, and I wouldn't advise this with my first $1,000 just because I can be more conservative when it comes to this stuff sometimes. But if you need YOLOing in your life, you need that gambling, just that excitement, then I would go 20% across the board, of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you know where to buy it and where to store it. I would go 20% Cardano, and you know where to stake it. I would go 20% Doge or a coin of your choice. I'll say that, but I would go something like Doge to keep it fun. But I would look at a deflationary token that's getting a lot of hype and has a great community behind it, and that's something like SAFEMOON. And that's much more riskier and speculative than just putting that 20% into or splitting it up between Bitcoin and Ethereum. But we're talking a YOLO play here. And there are a lot of people right now that are probably that's in the SAFEMOON community that's like, hell no, YOLO that entire 1,000 into SAFEMOON. And I get it. It's by far one of the most popular altcoins out there. And people hate on it all the time, but they have a busy, hard-working development team. They've got a great community behind it, and I think it's got a lot of potential. The same thing a lot of people say about SAFEMOON now is the same crap that they were saying about Bitcoin back in the day. But remember, there is that risk reward. The bigger the risk, the bigger reward. But there is always that risk that you lose your money. So just remember that regardless of whatever strategy or whatever token or coin that you pick. I've got to go the more conservative route, and that's what I would advise if I was a financial advisor, which I'm not. And I would start looking at the riskier stuff a little bit later whenever I became more comfortable with it or I had some of that house money to play with because I was scalping some profits. And like I mentioned, when I first started, I did the number 1 on the list. If I was still very conservative, I would probably go number 2 at this point with all the stuff I know now about Ethereum. And and to be honest, if you have a good working knowledge base on crypto, number 3 would probably be the best for everybody. I really like Cardano and where that's going. I believe in Charles. And I think there is a big future ahead for Cardano. There's so much going on with it. I think that Ethereum is going to be a staple in crypto. Bitcoin is like gold, I mentioned. So it even diversifies that crypto portfolio just by being in it. It's not just like, I think a lot of people look at crypto as one big thing, but there's not. Different cryptos are different things, and it's becoming you need to diversify even that crypto portfolio, in my opinion. But as it's your money, you can YOLO it into whatever you want to. I would go 1 through 3 if I was just getting started until I really had a good knowledge base on crypto. Then I would look at things like Binance or Solana, but I'll leave that up to you. I'm not trying to get too into the weeds on this thing. Let me know what your list would be in the comment section below. What did you spend your first 1,000 on? Would you YOLO? Would you go conservative? Where would you store it at? Where would you stake it? As always, I hope everyone out there takes care and stays safe.